Welcome to one of the world's most iconic golf venues, the Belfry, for the grand final of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. The culmination of a fantastic summer of UK-wide tournament initiatives by American Golf. A closing act to savour for the 22 pairs qualified for the two-day final.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be at such a great venue like the Belfry. You see it on telly all the time, don't you? Sevilla and the 18th winning Ryder Cup for Europe, so yeah, it's really good, really exciting.
Can't wait to hit in the footsteps of the big boys.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Feels great. Yeah, Ryder Cup venue, all these famous golfers that played here. Feels good, I'm looking forward to playing.
It's like a dream come true, really. I was saying to you, Chris, even if we don't qualify, don't win anything, just the experience is going to be amazing.
To go to the Belfry, what more could one ask?
Really, we've all won today, really, haven't we? We're all winners.
You've got to be thinking 40 points, 41 points. Yeah. They give you a chance of getting into the semi-finals, I'd have thought.
Got to be 42, 43, hasn't it? Even with three quarters.
It's a challenging course, George.
Yeah, well on the
so don't expect too much.
Good chance of hitting a lot of pars. Going out there, obviously just try and play it steady between us.
20 points, yeah. 20 points today, 20 points tomorrow.
Aggregate, 2 9s, 42 points, I reckon, because this is quite a tough golf course.
I think 39 will get in. Looking at what I'm looking at here today, it's very tough, very long. It's a monster.
Time now to hear from Sky Sports' Rob Lee and first Daniel Gathercole of American Golf.
Golf is about everyone coming together and you know, everyone has one common goal, and that's to get more people playing golf. You know, ultimately that is the way forward, and that's the way that the game's going to grow. This year we had 3 tournaments, so we had the Long Drive Championship, the Junior Championship and the 9-Hole Championship, and we'll continue more tournaments next year. I mean, the junior event was fantastic, you know, people from 7 years old up to 18 years old. And then even this pairs event, you know, we've had mixed pairs, we've had a lot of father and son teams and guys coming from all over the UK, so it's just nice to see all the hard work paying off. So it's a 9-hole format, we have 10 regionals across the UK and Ireland. All the regionals are after work, you know, so people who work in the day can still play in it. This is an official England golf event, so it is prestigious. The winning pair go to the Bahamas for a week and win an all-inclusive trip to the Bahamas and play a round of golf with Paul McGinley as well, former Ryder Cup captain. It's been great. Everyone's just saying how relaxed it is. You know, we try to keep it really informal. We want to kind of take the barriers down in golf, and for me, 9-hole golf is the future. So we wanted to kind of, you know, together with England Golf, create an event which is open to everyone. Even if you work in 9 till 5, you can come down and play. You know, we need to come together as an industry and do more to make it easier for people to play golf.
People keep saying these days that golf takes too long. The modern guy or woman who works during the week and weekends with the kids and trying to juggle the family life, they need a game of golf that's quicker. Well, there's one there already, and it's called 9 holes. Just go out there and play 9 holes at your local golf club. Instead of taking maybe 4 or 5 hours, you're around in 2.5, and you can get back to what you need to do family-wise at the weekend. So yeah, 9 holes, it's instantly there. You don't have to change the game. It's exactly as you know it. And of course, with this situation here, it's kind of a sprint. So every team comes in here knowing that get up quickly, absolutely important, because there's only 9 holes to play. So there's a sense of urgency about it, which makes it exciting.
Plenty of excitement to come, that's for sure. But before we get to the first golf action, let's take a look at the format for the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. 22 pairs have qualified from the regional events to the grand final here at the Belfry. The whole tournament is going to be played on the iconic Brabazon Course, with 4 balls playing off a 3/4 handicap, better balls Stableford scoring to start with. The first day starts with round 1 on the front 9, the second day starts with round 2 played on the back 9, and after the 2 9-hole rounds, the top 4 pairs will head into the semi-finals, 1v4 and 2v3. The semis and final are played as match play, the semis on the front 9 with the 2 winning pairs going into a final across the back 9. And we'll have highlights action from the 2 fantastic days of play coming up over the next hour, starting with the first 9 holes in round 1. All 22 pairs were off the first tee and raring to go. Brothers, father and son teams and golfing mates from across the UK, all looking to win the big prize.
I'm his older brother by a year and a half, I think, is it?
Yeah,
roughly. Any words exchanged occasionally?
No, we don't argue, to be honest.
No.
We just get on with it.
We're father and son, Eric and Philip.
Who's the boss?
I don't think we have one really. I think we try and keep it level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
We're
we
here to
know,
have
we
fun.
know we don't hit bad shots on purpose.
Relatives, does that work?
No.
No.
No. Well, fortunately, Pete tends to draw and I tend to slice, so we don't really see much of each other on the golf course. So we've got to dovetail and try not to dove and dove, which is his favourite expression.
Exactly, yeah.
No doving and doving. Okay.
I'll just go for everything, basically. I've got no course management, and I'm honest.
We should sort of bounce off each other relatively well, hopefully.
So you're the sensible one. You're the one that has to learn the meaning of dovetail then.
Yes, I do.
Try and keep golf simple, because it's a simple game. And when it goes wrong, it's normally down to operator error.
Well, he goes off on his own whinging and I just carry on and hit all the shots.
I'm a very individual pairs player.
He's gaffer, he's in charge,
Yeah,
he leads us off. Best putter on European Tour, Mark Kelly.
If we get the 27 that we got to get here, I think we got a fair chance.
No need to brag.
You got after a blinder.
Yeah, birdie par birdie to start off with, and
then it went from there.
Well, we came up to
the third B there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Jason bought the T-shirts. I can do nothing about the hairstyles.
My name's Pete Day. I'm from the Chase Golf Club, 53, and my handicap is 15.
Hi, Rob Burke. I'm 28, and my handicap is 19.
Good try, Rob.
Kerry was a last-minute addition. I'd signed up with someone else and he couldn't make it, so I texted Kerry the day before and was like, do you want to play tomorrow?
Super sub. How do you feel about that?
I feel great, no problems whatsoever. Just delighted to be here, as you can imagine.
It's perfect. The golf course looks fantastic, and just can't wait to get going.
Yeah, can't wait to get going. Looking forward to the last few weeks now. Just can't wait to go.
John's actually the team manager at our golf club, so he gets a pick. Gets a pick of who he wants to play with, and luckily he asked me on the day that we went to qualify for this event, so yeah, that's how we got here.
How do you work then as a team?
Generally bickering.
Like a married couple.
Well, yes, pretty much. If we're not giving each other abuse, then we're not concentrating hard enough.
Just discussed it. Just we came off the motorway, who was going first, and we still haven't decided.
It's great animosity, isn't it? Yeah. Who are you again?
Well, we partner one another, probably more than our wives. So.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What attracts you to 9-hole golf?
I think the time that it takes to play 9 holes as opposed to 18 will attract a lot of people. So I think the idea of taking less time off work, where my boss, who's my uncle, has given me the day off.
Any thoughts about the big prize?
No, I ain't got that far ahead yet, no. Focus on getting to the semi-final. Bit cliched, isn't it, but one step at a time for now.
Oh, it'd be great to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Has the prize entered your mind at all?
Not at all.
Well, no. I mean, we live in Porthcawl, so it's like it's home from us. So, Bahamas, Porthcawl, same thing.
In glorious weather at the Belfry, the golf in the opening round of the tournament was superb, with the most popular score being 17 points. 6 pairs managing to card that for a share of 7th place. Father and son team Richard and Peter Hearn were the first to do so. Good golf, but another week in Porthcawl instead of the Bahamas looks like a distinct possibility. Another Welsh pairing joined them on 17, Dafford Evans and Kerry Jones, handling themselves well on the demanding track and in good company. Scotland were well represented by Andy Hunter and George Wither, 3 points shy of their predicted 20 for success, but certainly not shy of playing some aggressive golf. George hot with the wedge, while Andy was on fire. McKenna and Horner blew hot and cold, but when they were hot, they were very good indeed. 10 handicapper Gary Horner consistent to the greens, while partner Jerry McKenna entertained, draining them from all angles. This one, the best of the day. While partner Gary asked the regulation question of the camera operator at these events.
Get it! Have you got that one on camera?
I tell you, if we had £1 for every time we got asked that one, we'd be millionaires, Rodney. Also joining the bunch on 17 points were high handicappers from Blackpool Andy Walker off 21 and Mark Fallows off 22. Mark so nearly crowning their round by holing out at the 9th. Pete Day and Rob Burke took time out from playing to the cameras to play to the cameras. Both men enjoying their time in the limelight, and some very tidy golf indeed. In fact, the more cameras we threw at Rob, the better he played. He's even thinking of hiring his own crew for next year's championship. 18 points was the next mark in the clubhouse for the first round of 9 holes. Jack Naughton off 14 with this cracker from the trap at 3, got his team on the way to 6th place. Jack was partnered by Bill Watley playing off 10. Bill, normally the strong silent type, gave us our most emotional moment of the day as he drained this one at the last. Beware the quiet ones. One pair on 18 points then, and only one pair on 19, just 1 point off the top 4 semi-final place at the end of the opening round. 12 handicapper Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly off 7, grinding out their score for 5th place. Kelly's tee shot at the 7th, worthy of a Ryder Cup encounter here at the Belfry. And so to the top 4, with 20 points and 4th place on countback were Christian Weiss and Gitesh Chauhan. 12 handicapper Krish came up with some dream shots, much to the delight of his teammate. While Gitesh off 16 was determined not to be outdone, finding his own piece of magic at 9 on these oh-so-slick Brabazon greens, with a touch of how did he do that? The pair finished the job in style before celebrating the score with playing partners the Hearns and contemplating a semi-final spot overnight ahead of the second round. Johnny Krish and Gitesh on 20 points, but taking 3rd on countback were Martin Derrick and Andy Gilbert. 10 handicapper Martin leaving shot of the day till the last, but well worth the wait. Before 18 handicapper Andy reminded everyone about his superb touch around the greens, every bit as exquisite as Gitesh earlier in the day, followed by a relaxed stroll to the evening welcome dinner, in the knowledge that they were halfway there to a place in the semis. The Ruddle brothers turned on the afterburners with some truly spectacular play. At 3 they underlined their quality with back-to-back approaches that were pure class. 6 handicapper Sam shaping the ball over the water to nearly find the hole. Making scratch golfer brother Tom's effort looked pretty average. Enjoy. The local heroes continued that form through the 9 holes. On the way, Tom with this cheeky birdie at 7. All the 2s in the end then for the Ruddles, 22 points and 2nd place, looking like a tough pairing to beat on day 2. In top spot though, and no strangers to the Sky Sports cameras, the pairing from Ireland, Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon, chasing another TV title. 6 handicapper Kevin was making the most of his day here at the Belfry. A birdie at the 4th for 4 points was followed by this par at the 7th for 2. In fact, Kevin came in on 6 out of 9 holes in round 1. Tom found the going a little tougher, the 16 handicapper coming in at the 1st and the 5th with a par and a bogey, then finishing the day off with a par for 3 points at the last. Kevin though, pushing him all the way as usual. With one eye on the leaderboard, the pair knew it was going to be a good day, but it could have been even better if this last putt had dropped. But hey, you know the script from here? That's right. Irish eyes were smiling, 24 points to take them into round 2 as leaders of the tournament. So confirmation at the end of round 1, Muldoon and Commins flying the flag for Ireland, and 2 points clear of their nearest rivals, the Ruddles, in 2nd. Gilbert and Derrick with Chauhan and Weiss complete the top 4 on 20 points, but both pairs will need to be at their best in the 2nd round to hold off the challenge from the teams just off the top 4 pace. And those on 17 points will probably feel like they have a shot, but after that it's a case of enjoying the back 9 on the Brabazon and playing for pride in the 2nd round of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. And talking of day 2, find out who qualifies for the semi-finals after the break, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the Belfry for round 2 of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. The pressure is on. A trip to the Bahamas and a round of golf with Paul McGinley awaits the winning pair, so the tension was palpable on the 10th tee as the leaders waited to head out onto the back 9 of the Brabazon Course. The 22 pairs were all looking to finish in the top 4 and claim a place in the semi-finals at the end of the second round. Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon led the tournament on 24 points, joined by the Ruddle brothers on 22, and then Gilbert and Derek and Chauhan and Vyas both on 20 points, completing the top 4 after round 1. Plenty of action still to come though as we head into round 2. The weather wasn't so glorious on day 2 in the West Midlands, but the golf was stunning. Several teams made a strong bid for the semis. Pete Day and Rob Burke were in bullish form, Pete with this at 14, on their way to a fantastic 36-point total across the 2 rounds and a share of 6th, so nearly a hole-in-one, but still a fine birdie. The iconic 18th was a happy hunting ground for many players in the second round. Not difficult to get inspired playing the same greens as so many legends down the years. Peter Stobbs' teammate Andy Hill with genius from the sand. Spare a thought though for Jack Notton, playing alongside Bill Whatley, 6th after round 1, but the ball just wouldn't drop for Jack on their second 9, and it wasn't for the want of trying either. And boy did he try. The golfing gods less than charitable to the pair on day 2. The toughest break of the day though was for Gitesh Chauhan and Christian Vyas. In the top 4 and a place in the semi-finals on day 1, they did very little wrong on day 2, but like Notton and Whatley, the putts just wouldn't drop, leaving them outside the top 4 on 37 points and ready to give those pesky golfing gods a good talking to. And so to the qualifiers. In 4th place, the lowest handicap pairing at the tournament, brothers Sam and Tom Ruddle. The local lads made hard work of qualification in round 2, scraping 16 points to add to their impressive 22-point haul on day 1 and making the semis by just a single point. Kid brother Tom, playing off +1, hit birdies at 15 and 16, contributing what turned out to be a valuable 6 points. Older brother, 6 handicapper Sam, did what he was there to do, coming in on the holes brother Tom couldn't make points at. Not their best performance by a long way, but still in with a shot at the title. A sigh of relief for the Ruddles, 38 points, good enough for a place in the semis. 38 points was also the final score amassed by Andy Gilbert and Martin Derrick, as the pair added 18 points to their round 1 score of 20. Highlights included a couple of cracking tee shots at 14, as the pair from the southwest made sure they came in on every hole for their total score and a much coveted place in the semi-finals. In the end, 3rd place on countback to Andy and Martin. '12 handicapper Luke Eustace and 7 handicapper Mark Kelly jumped from 5th place on day 1 to 2nd, with the joint best round of 21 points on their back 9. Luke went about the second round with his usual relaxed approach, smiling his way to points at 10, 11, 12 and 16. Easy to smile though when your partner comes in on the remaining 5 holes, and sometimes in spectacular style. A fantastic 40 points for Luke and Mark then to set up a semi-final against 3rd placed Andy Gilbert and Martin Derrick. For day 1 leaders Tom Muldoon and Kevin Commins, it was another sublime 9 holes in round 2. They added 21 points to their first round score of 24, giving them top spot after 2 rounds and setting up a mouth-watering semi-final clash with the Ruddles. Tom weighed in with points at 10, 13 and 16, but the star of the show was 6 handicapper Kevin. This tee shot at 14 setting up a birdie opportunity, followed by Tom giving Kevin some cover for his putt. Not that he needed much covering. In the end, this 1-point scramble at 18 was irrelevant. Meticulous planning and practice paying off for the Irishman. 45 points the final tally, but they've got a tough match play test taking on Tom and Sam in semi-final 2. Confirmation then of how the leaderboard stands after 2 fantastic rounds of 9-hole golf. Semi 1 will be Kelly and Eustace versus Gilbert and Derrick. Semi 2, that Muldoon and Commins versus Tom and Sam Ruddle showdown. Before we get to the semis though, let's hear from Rollinson and Andy Stevens. 32 points for a very good top 10 finish here at the Belfry. 2 men injured in the service of their country and representing the On-Course Foundation, one of American golf's chosen charities.
The On-Course Foundation is a service charity. It was set up 5 years ago by Mr. John Simpson, and it seeks to help wounded, injured and sick service personnel and veterans through the medium of golf. And it helps rehabilitation, it helps rebuild confidence. Ultimately, for those that are able, it seeks to place them in employment within the broad spectrum of golf industries. To date, the charity's introduced golf to some 3,000 service personnel and veterans, of whom nearly 500 have now taken up golf, and of that 500, over 80% had never played golf before their injuries.
While I was at Combat Stress doing trauma therapy for my PTSD, which I was diagnosed 2 years ago, I met a gentleman called Ian Wright, who was a member of the foundation, and he introduced me to the foundation. So I rang up. From there on in, I did a one-day taster, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and then from there on in, it's just sort of snowballed. And what golf does to me, it gives me an opportunity for when I'm having a bit of a bad day through my illness, I go on the golf course and enjoy the open spaces. And the foundation's been excellent, and it's been very supportive in so many ways. Just amazing, absolutely amazing.
I also suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. 2 years ago I wanted to be able to do this conversation with you. In fact, I want to be able to look you in the eye, and golf has given me so much confidence back. I thank the foundation for that. It is fantastic.
It's match play semi-final time here at the inaugural American Golf 9-hole championship. Semis on the front 9, then the winners head straight to the 10th tee for the back 9 final. Up first, Gilbert and Derek versus Eustace and Kelly.
Do you prefer playing match play?
Yeah, we do actually. Yeah, I think we're better at match play. We like to think so. So you're less pressure in match play as well, because you can have a bad hole and just forget about it as much. So hopefully we'll get the job done today.
Now, do you know anything about your opponents?
We do actually. Yeah, we had evening meal with them last night. We had a great night as well.
So
good bit of banter. So really pleased with playing them, to be honest.
Just
enjoyed.
Guys. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. We move into match play as well. Does that change your game plan?
Totally. I don't care. Past irrelevant. It's one less than them.
And how do you guys work as a team?
Well, we've known each other a long time, so we know each other pretty well, but try and help each other out the yardages, have a chat about the distance, the line, etc, etc. So yeah, I think we work well as a team. It helps knowing each other so well as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Into semi-final 1 on the front 9 of the Brabazon then, Martin Derrick struck the first serious blow at the 393-yard par 4 opening hole with this fine approach. And that left him with this putt to go 1 up. He couldn't convert though, but he and Andy showed their match play tactics early. No gimme for Luke. The pressure telling early doors for the 2 young Yorkies. Gilbert and Derek, the wily old foxes, going 1 up, heading to the par 4 second. Martin, once again in pole position after a superb drive, applied the pressure with this approach. Eustace and Kelly were desperate to hit back, but Mark was left with a murderous putt to do so. He found the cup though with a clonker, forcing Martin to hole his putt for a half. But the ball stayed up and the teams headed to the 3rd tee, all square. The 503-yard par 5 third was a classic example of never say never. As far as Luke Eustace was concerned, his tee shot into the bundai put him out of the hole. He was wrong though. Nobody else came in and Luke was left with this to win the hole. The 2 Yorkshiremen left the green 1 up, and it has to be said, with a swagger. At the par 4 4th, it was Andy Gilbert's turn to come to the party. Nothing spectacular, just enough to ensure no further damage was done. Hole halved, Kelly and Eustace still 1 up, going down the 5th. But Andy, happy enough. At the par 4 5th, Andy now had the bit between his teeth, superbly out of the bunker to set up a hole-saving opportunity. But he missed the putt. The body language tells you what he thought of that. So with 2 putts to go 2 up, Mark Kelly applied the finishing touch. Easy pickings in the end for the lads from Selby Golf Club. Heading down the par 4 6th, Kelly and Eustace once again had some breathing room. And this fine approach from Luke, the best of a very similar bunch, guaranteeing the hole was halved in 4. So no change to the score in the match. With 3 to play, it was looking good for Luke and Mark. At the par 3 7th though, they hadn't reckoned on comeback kid Andy Gilbert. It was a scramble of a hole, but Andy eventually won it with this 4. The Kelly and Eustace lead reduced to just 1 up, with 2 to play. At the 8th, the boys from Yorkshire had a chance to close the door. Luke Eustace showed his killer instinct, well, with his approach anyway. That fantastic shot giving him 2 putts for the match and a place in the final, but it's amazing what situations like this can do to a man. Looking to finish in style, he fizzed his first putt past the hole, and with the crowd, the cameras and the big prize all in the mix, the second chance went begging. By gum, not like a Yorkie to give anything away for free. And that miss took the first semi-final down the 9th. Last chance saloon for Andy Gilbert and Martin Derrick, but this time their opponents were not in the mood for more charity. First Luke and then Mark shot the lights out and plunged Andy and Martin's dreams of a trip to the Bahamas into gloom. A partial sigh of relief for the Yorkshireman as the final beckoned. Gilbert and Derrick's only chance to force an extra hole came down to Andy and his ability to hold this monster putt. He gave it a serious go, but as it sailed past the hole, it was time to admit defeat and shake hands, confirming Mark Kelly and Luke Eustace as winners, 2 up, claiming their place in the final. Coming up, it's semi-final 2, the mouth-watering showdown between the Ruddle brothers and the Irishmen Commins and Muldoon. More from the American Golf 9-Hole Championship here on Sky Sports after the break. Welcome back to the Belfry and the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. We're into the business end of the tournament. One semi-final already decided on the front 9 with Eustace and Kelly beating Gilbert and Derrick 2 up. Next up, a cracker as Islands Commins and Muldoon take on the Ruddle brothers, Sam and Tom, in semi-final 2 for the right to head into the back 9 final against the boys from Yorkshire. Let's meet the pairs.
It's all on the day. We're playing against the 2 guys that we played with this morning. They're very good golfers, so hopefully we get the hop of the ball and the luck of the Irish.
Do you think that will help, the fact that you played the guys this morning?
No, it's a clean slate. Makes no difference. Just go out and play your own game, and if it's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not, it's not. I actually prefer match play myself. It's a better form of golf.
If you can forget about this morning's score, so the guys who were playing, I think we're well ahead, but that's irrelevant now. It's all down to match play, and it is a different ball game. So I know how good they are, but I can probably be a bit more aggressive and hopefully make a few more putts this afternoon and beat them. We know that we've beaten arguably the best players so far score-wise, so we've got a good chance of making it to the Bahamas.
What an epic encounter in prospect, and at the first, both pairs delivered. 6 handicapper Kevin Commins setting the scene with his approach. Scratch golfer Big Tom Ruddle responding from the trap to take some pressure off his brother Sam, who was already on the green. And as the gallery watched on, there were chances aplenty to take the lead. Commins spurned his, but only just. Muldoon, out of the hole, could barely watch as Sam was left with this to go 1 up. No deal, and not his first lip out of the championship either. Down the second then, all square, it was Kevin's turn for a touch of magic from the sand. Ruddle Senior in the cap, feeling the tension just as much as his boys. Sam coped with the pressure though, to hole out and force Kevin to at least earn a half at this hole. Commins again with a tough putt and so much riding on it. It doesn't get much closer than that, but if you can still see the ball, you're out of luck. On to the third with the Ruddles 1 up. It's at this sort of range where the scratch golfers come into their own in match play. Tom Ruddle dancing his way to the green with a sweet 7-iron and enough control to make it count on these championship putting surfaces. With brother Sam fulfilling his part of the bargain and staying in the hole, Tom once again had a free rein to go for it. A world-class putt from one of the Toms and a world-class response now required from the other to keep Muldoon and Commins in the hole. But it wasn't to be, and that particular lip out really hurt. There were no dramas through 4 and 5, both holes halved, so it was looking good for the Midlanders 2 up, heading down the 6th, where Big Tom was once again the star. Another very good putt drained for a commanding Dormy 3 up on the 7th tee. But cometh the hour, cometh the man, and with nothing to lose, Kevin Commins produced a potentially game-changing shot. Pure class from Commins, but there was still a distinct difference in the body language of the two pairs as they headed to the green. And this is what Championship match play golf is all about. Putts like this to keep dreams alive. But sometimes outcomes like that to haunt you. The final piece of action, a tough one for the Irishman to take. They shook hands on the 7th green. Sam and Tom Ruddle confirmed as winners, 3 up and 2 to play. They marched straight to the 10th tee where opponents Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly were waiting. Confirmation then of the final here at the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. 22 pairs qualified for the final and started out on their 9-hole golf odyssey. Now only 2 teams remain for our final shootout of this championship. Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly from Selby Golf Club in North Yorkshire teed it up first. Not the best opener from the 26-year-old 7-handicapper Mark though, and didn't he know it. Down to Luke then to make sure he was in play. He gave some ducks, the old hurry up, but safely into the middle of the fairway for Eustace. We wondered if a family pairing of some description would make it through to the big show here at this 9-hole championship, and that's exactly what the brothers Sam and Tom Ruddle have done. They stuck with their tactics at the iconic 10th, and like so many big hitters in days gone by, scratch golfer Tom went for the green, but he didn't make it. So older brother Sam was required to play it again. Safe, that is. Our inaugural American Golf 9-hole championship final then is underway. 9 holes or less stand between our 4 players and a trip to the Bahamas for the winners. Luke Eustace then gets a shot at this hole and about 90 yards to the front of the green, and you can see where the pin position is down on the front. Doesn't want to bite off more than he can chew here. He knows he's going to get some action on the ball. It's okay, it'll spin away again though.
Bit of juice on it.
A bit of juice on it, quite right Luke, but a good shot. So the pressure on Sam Ruddle, that drain cover just to his left, that's around about 75 yards to the green from there, so this should be right in the sweet spot for that lovely rhythmic swing. This is going to spin as well, and that is beautiful. Very, very good golf from Sam Ruddle. This is Luke Eustace's chance though. A lot of break on this from right to left as he looks at it. His chance to take it all away at the first hole, not quite. But that does mean, if that's a gimme, and I think it's going to be, yes it is, that does mean then that Sam Ruddle has to hole his putt. There's a fantastic gallery following this championship match, and this putt, first bit of pressure for a half. No, hit it hard enough to take the break out, but Sam Ruddle just offline. That means then that Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly go 1 up with 8 to play in this 9-hole championship final. Once again, it was Big Tom Ruddle required to go for it from the tee at the 406-yard par 4 11th hole. And go for it he did. In the end, Tom was the only player to find the fairway, and he found it well. From there, the rest set about trying to salvage something from the hole. Sam Ruddle recovered well enough, but it was Luke Eustace, this time with no shot, who found a strike to settle the nerves. But with so much golf still ahead, as Luke said earlier in the tournament, one step at a time. Tricky though to banish thoughts of the big prize after a shot like that. And up at the green, frustration for Tom Ruddle. His approach was short, then a rather heavy-handed chip to end up on the top tier, giving him this tough putt back. He's given it a chance though. Oh, that was travelling. Going like an express train, and another lip out. How many more of those are we going to see make contact with the hole and not drop? Luke Eustace, after that fabulous approach, this to shut the Ruddles out at the 11th. Not quite, but he and Mark Kelly still in the hole. Sam Ruddle, this for a 4 to force a half. Oh no. Well, that just seemed to ghost over the top of the hole. And they're looking a little nervy there, the Ruddle brothers. The best they can manage now at this hole is a 5. And you've seen how close Luke Eustace is. Tom rolls it in, and I think they're going to have to make Luke putt here. Well, it's well within gimme territory, but Tom says, go on, you've got to hold this. And he does. A brilliant 4 then from Luke Eustace, and he and Mark Kelly win the hole to go 2 up in the American Golf 9-hole championship final. Par 3 pressure at 12 next up, 179 yards across the water to the green. And older brother Sam Ruddle looking to find his touch in this final. That's a nice strike. Now if he's got his yardages right, he's on here. Oh, he's right on it. Another beautiful shot by Sam Ruddle. It's a nervy putt ahead, but are the Ruddles on the comeback trail? Tournament referees Nick Lunn and nearest the camera Phil Davies watching on as Sam lines up this crucial putt. A touch of left to right, but relatively straight. This for the hole. Oh, not again. It's a cruel game sometimes. The hole is halved. The American Golf 9-hole championship final continues after the break. Welcome back to the Belfry and the American Golf 9-hole championship final. 3 holes down on the back 9 of the iconic Brabazon Course, and with the prize of a trip to the Bahamas and a round of golf with former Ryder Cup captain Paul McGinley up for grabs. That lip out at the 12th was painful for the Ruddle brothers to endure, which means that our 2 lads from North Yorkshire, Mark Kelly and Luke Eustace, are still smiling. 2 up and 6 to play. Next up then, the 350-yard par 4 13th. Great hands from big Tom Ruddle, the first part of a good up and down for a half. But as Tom knocked the putt in, his reaction told the story. It was getting tougher and tougher out there. The 14th next, Kelly and Eustace still with the lead. Tee shots at the par 3 though failed to find the dance floor, so the gallery and the players knew it was going to require a little bit of magic to get the job done. And Sam Ruddle's Houdini putt was the shot that won the hole. No celebration though, the Ruddles still 1 down with just 4 to play. The par 5 15th was halved with uneventful 5s, so we headed to the par 4 16th with Kelly and Eustace still 1 up, and another hole where Luke Eustace was once again forced to don his Superman cape. He chopped it off the tee and straight into the fairway bunker. Time for the superpowers to come to the fore, as Luke produced the undisputed shot of the tournament. Amazing stuff. Luke Eustace reporting for duty, sir. And of course, what else was he going to do when he got to the green but drain the putt to go 2 up and take all the momentum through to the penultimate hole. Dormy 2 then for Mark Kelly and Luke Eustace. Last chance saloon for the Ruddles as we head to the 530-yard par 5 17th. With their match play heads on, Eustace and Kelly did just about everything right, trying to keep the ball in play and the pressure on the Ruddles. Time for Tom Ruddle to step up to the mark. Round about 80 yards to the green, but the pin position set right at the back. And he really needs to go after it. Oh, he's caught that one fat. I don't think it's got the legs. It hasn't. And he's going to be gutted with that shot. Well, look at this. Special guest Rob Lee walking with American Golf's Daniel Gathercole and watching the closing stages of the 9-hole championship, and watching Sam Ruddle's contribution at 17 come to an end with 2 attempts to scrape out of the greenside trap. And with Mark Kelly pretty much out of the hole as well, it's Luke Eustace versus Tom Ruddle, the only 2 players that can now influence this 8th hole of the final. Luke Eustace then, he's got a plan. He's going to try and float this high and land it soft. And under the circumstances, that is pretty well executed. And Luke Eustace, the crowd know he's got the opportunity now to close the door on this final here at 17. So Mark and Luke with 1 foot on the plane to the Bahamas. Can Tom stall them at customs by holing this? It's a must-make putt for Tom Ruddle. Up the slope to the hole, but past it. And was that the last golfing action for the Ruddles in this fabulous championship? Luke Eustace can make sure it is. Across the green then, pretty straight, but he mustn't be short. This then for the tournament. Oh, he's done it. What a cracking putt to win the American Golf 9-hole championship here at the Belfry. 2 fantastic days and 4 rounds of superb golf, and we have our champions. Commiserations to Sam and Tom Ruddle. They came so close, but massive congratulations to Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly. And look at that, they've won a trip to the Bahamas and a round of golf with Paul McGinley, and you still can't get 2 proud Yorkshiremen to hug. Adam Phillips is with the winners.
Whereabouts was it that you thought, I think we've got a good chance here?
We got a really solid start. I think I parred the first with a shot, so that got us 1 up. We got a little bit lucky on the second, didn't we? Which then we went 2 up early doors, so we were just towing and throwing throughout then, just trying to keep 1 up. I said if we get to 8, I get a shot on 8. It was stroke index 10, and like I said, managed to make par. Them guys bogeyed.
I think your bunker shot on 15, 16 from the.
Yeah, the 7th hole.
Yeah, from the bunker, knocked it to about 10 foot. I really thought, got a chance here, 2 up 2 to play.
Felt pretty good walking down that 8th fairway, to be honest.
All I'll say is a good job he was here, because I was terrible in the final. It's a good job he played, we're awful. But.
So just a word for your opponents as well, they were worthy adversaries, weren't they?
Oh, brilliant,
absolutely,
brilliant.
yeah.
Everyone's been fantastic, everyone's been brilliant trip, everyone's been fantastic.
Sportsmanship's great, guys coming from all over the country, it's been superb. Yeah, it's been a really good couple of days. American Golf have really put on a fantastic event. Yeah,
and Sky as well was fantastic coverage. Yeah, a bit surreal in front of cameras, but done well.
Really well run event, just superb. It's 2 best days I've ever had, I think.
Yeah, I think so, brilliant.
And it was about to get even better. Sky Sports' Rob Lee was waiting to congratulate the boys. Let's hear from Rob.
It's been intense because there's been a qualifying situation through regional events to get here in the first place. So anyone that's got here has played really well as a team, but then to make it through to the final, you're so close to the massive prize. The pressure was enormous. But in the end, it was really well won. The champs made birdie at 16, gross birdie, and then net birdie at the 17th. So a birdie over the last 3 holes would be enough in a 9-hole competition to get it done. So the lucky winners are off to the Bahamas. I wish I was going with them.
Oh, tell me about it, Rob. Right, 1 more piece of business to tie it up here at the Belfry before we get to the presentation. 3rd place in the end was claimed by the Irish pair Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon, with victory over Andy Gilbert and Martin Derrick. So, confirmation then of the final results. Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon win 2 up to take 3rd, but the tournament belongs to Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly with that fabulous 3-1 win over Sam and Tom Ruddle in the final. From the course, the competitors headed to the gala dinner to pick up their prizes. 3rd place to Commins and Muldoon. A fighting 2nd place for Sam and Tom Ruddle. They came so close to the big prize.
Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly.
Richard Teal of TaylorMade presented the trophy to the winners. Congratulations to the American Golf 9-hole champions for 2015. An epic journey through qualification and then the finals. Next stop, the Bahamas. Send us a postcard, lads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next year.